Hi, and welcome to episode 5 of our start in Empyrion. So where we are is the last episode we did a fly around of the planet. And goal there was to discover as many locations as possible because we get lots of XP for doing that. But also to find some of the less common resources like gold, promethium, etc. so that we could build a couple of things like the CPU upgrade for the SV here, drill, and a couple of other things like that. So when we got back, I was at level 8 and remember thinking it should have been a bit higher. Now, reason there was so focused on the resources that I forgot to actually discover all of the locations. So what I did off camera was a couple of things actually. I went around the island again, and this time I made sure that I discovered everything so that we got all of those XP points that we missed. But we also noted in the last episode we were going to run out of copper and also carbon substrate. So I did some mining off camera as well. Also picked up a bit more neo, a bit more cobalt, a few more plants. So if we just look at our stats now, no longer at level 8, we're at level 10. And we've got all of the resources we need to spawn in a base. Now in terms of mining, remember initially we were having to use the survival tool, which was a little bit grindy, shall we say. So what we've now been doing that we've got the drill, it's much easier. Just get to the nose of the SV here and you can just activate the drone. And then with the drill active, you can just drill down into the resource there. And it's a multiple times faster than the survival tool. Very easy, but you're also safe from predators this way. But anyway, that's how we did all our mining. So let's just repark. And we do have all the resources. Now, we are going to spawn in a base, as previously discussed, entirely optional, because we could just keep going this way. Another option is to build a base, but I lack the skill and patience to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn one in. And if we just go to F2 to see our options, first thing is we're going to go to the stock options here, this icon labeled stock, and we're going to go to this icon labeled base. So these are all of the options that you're going to see. And as previously mentioned, what you want to do is start a new creative game and just spawn them all in. Just pick the one you like. I personally like the Blue Moon base, so I'm going to go for that one. It has guns we don't need, but we can live with that. The resource cost is minimal. The real cost, if we were lower than level 10, would be the cost to invest points in the tech required for those guns. But because we are at level 10, we've also got more points than we need. So cost is negligible, so we can ignore the gun elements. But anyway, we do need to unlock these 9 things here. Now, 2 of these are going to be, if we go to F3, 2 of them are under the base, 7 are under the base icon and 2 are under miscellaneous. The 2 under miscellaneous, if you go through the list one by one, it's this one, but also ventilators. The 7 under base, you've got this one, so this is where we have to invest in gun tech that we don't particularly need, but we've got the points to spend, so we don't particularly worry about that. Shutter doors, and these 2 as well, and that should do it. So if we just go back to F2, yeah, we can now add the factory. All right, so it's now telling us that we need all of these resources. As mentioned, I did a bunch of mining off of camera, but I also hit a load of rocks. I got all the stone dust required. And this is all of the key requirements there. So back to F2. So we can put all this in. And all that remains now is 2 growing plots, concrete. So we can make these in either of these constructors. So if we just go here and go growing plot, it's going to be under the building blocks here. So we've got everything we need. We've got plant fibers, cement, but we're lacking nutrient solution. Now, we need to make the nutrient solution in these guys here. Weather turned nasty all of a sudden. But anyway, what we need for each one is we need 5 water, 1 spoiled food, and we need 4 stone dust. And we make it under the food icon here. So get that going. Okay, once that's ready, I'll put it into the cargo box and I'll get those growing plots made. Alright, so our growing plots are now finished. So what we can now do is go back to F2. Back to the factory, that is, and we can put our growing plots in and we can start production. Done. Alright, now it's going to be finished in 53 minutes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that console command again and just go to FBP for finish blueprint, press enter, and then it finishes immediately and we don't have to wait for the 53 minutes. Now, before we spawn it in, I'm going to want to make some modifications, because once we spawn the base in, then like this one, it's going to require fuel. So what I want to do is I want to, firstly we have to unlock the tech for solar. So I want to get it on solar panels so that we don't have to use any fuel, because this does take a while to make. So then goes solar. They're not that expensive to make either. So you got solar panels and you got small, so it takes 15, maximum of 15. So we're going to go for the full 15. Now solar power, once it comes into the base, you need a battery to be able to store it, and these are the batteries here, the capacitors. So I'm going to go for 4 of those as well. That'll take a while. Okay, so that's incoming. Meantime, let's think about where to spawn this base in. So this area here is quite flat. This area here, not so flat. Gonna try and do it here. Yeah, it's a little bit higher on this side than this side. So let's go F2 and go spawn. So if we do that here, we've got the page up and page down button. Then that actually looks about right. We might have to do some digging out. Yeah, let's go there. Because the risk there was it not being supported on this side. As we can see, it's a little bit elevated. So what you can do here is hit the N key and go to debug, show structural integrity, and we're fine. If this were to be less supported, it would glow red or something less than green. Okay, so let's cancel the N. And there's our base. So it's not powered up yet. So yeah, there's a little bit of digging out that we need to do here, which we can do with the drill. It's a little bit sunk on the left-hand side, a little bit elevated on the right. Okay, fine. All right, and there's our base. Now, I do want to add those solar panels. And if we just look at the map, firstly, how you position the solar panels depends on where you are on the planet. If you're up here in the north, then because the sun comes across here, then you want them slanted, pointing towards the south. If the base is more southern, then you want the solar panels pointing towards the north to catch more sun, but we're pretty central, so that kind of suggests that we do them flat. So I'm going to use a second console command here. I'm going to go to console, I'm going to go GM for God mode. So this basically allows us to fly around, because what I want to do is I want to get up here, because we're going to be laying the solar panels on the top here. I want it flat. I'm just going to get out the multi-tool and retrieve blocks and just flatten this whole area. So that's going to mean taking the rails off, the lights, but also that whole top section there. So I'll be back in a second. Right, so we've got the roof flattened now. I'm just going to fill in this hole here using a couple of the blocks that we picked up. That one and that one. All right, so let's see how we are doing on the solar panels. We got 10, so let's make a start there. So we want them flat, remember. Sun's just coming up as well, so we should be able to start powering up pretty soon. But you have to have the batteries down. Alright, so let's put that there. Alright, 5. So we want them flat, remember. So right mouse click, solar panel to horizontal, that'll do. And we just want to rotate it a bit. So that there will probably work. So we have to squeeze in 15. And we got 10 on us. It's 4, 5, 6. So we can extend out this way without too many problems. Because that central part is supported. But what we can also do here is do the N button thing again and show structural integrity. And then we can see where it's strongest. So as you can see, the 2 on the far right there, probably this looks pretty good. Oh, that's our 10, so let's just go get the other 4. So it's not finished yet, but so I think we could put 3 more this side. I think it'll just about manage it there. Let's make sure. So flat again. This should be alright. Yeah, it's okay. Orange means it's getting towards being unstable. Red means don't try adding anything else. Yeah, we're good. So we're allowed to have 15. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can go 2 more there. So there's our final 2. The batteries haven't come in yet. So I think this should hold up okay. Yeah, it's not red, so we're good. Alright, that'll work. So 3 by, what's that? 3 by 5, 15. So that's our maximum. So that will now be creating or generating power, but we don't have batteries. So let's just get 1 battery in to start with. We can get rid of the N key now. And I'm just gonna, I want to put the batteries here out of the way. So let's get 1 battery in so that it starts charging anyway. So again, we want delete to change the angle of rotation and like so. So now if we go to P and we look into statistics, it will tell us here what the output is of the solar panels. So that's at 0.6 kPu. Go into main here. Our consumption is 0.2. So we're generating 0.6 and it's increasing. So that means the battery will start charging. There we go. We've got 1% already. All right, let's go get the other batteries over here. Where are we? Over there. Get 2 more. Delete and dig out this side as well. So 5, delete and our final battery should be done. And then we're good. We haven't put any fuel into the base. But the batteries should be charging up nicely now. Oh well, if we wanted those to look the same, I guess we would have to... Oh, we'll just leave it as it is. Anyway, but let's get out of God mode. So GM again. Just go back to statistics. So we're at 0.8 kpu and we're still only using 0.2. Batteries at 1% because we got more batteries now, but that should charge up during the day. All right, now we can start moving things around. So one thing, going to make a few modifications to the front here, make a ramp here so that we don't have to keep making this jump. Now we could take the guns off. The trouble is we are limited to the first level of multi-tool, which is a little bit slower. So for example, if we use this tool to take all the guns off, which we can do, you can see how slow it is there. I'll just do this one gun because if you look at main here, we're using 69,000. As mentioned before, the CPU is like a weight limit. And as we add and take things away from the base, then it adds or subtracts weight. So we're currently at weight 69 with a maximum allowed of 80. We will increase this later. And these guns are quite heavy, so if we take the gun off, we should see that 69 drop by about 3,000, I think. So let's go back to P. Yeah, 66. So we could do that with all 4 guns. I'm going to wait until we've got the next level of multi-tool, just because it's faster. But I only really did that gun so that we have a parking spot where... You've also got the V key here, where you can go into different view. Alright, so it's park there. Okay, so we can turn our... let's just V key again. So we can turn our power off now. The only reason we kept leaving it on was for the fridge, but we've now got a fridge in the base here. So we can transfer all of our perishables into this fridge. So just go F4. And what we want is Blue Moon Fridge on the right. So that's what we're going to be transferring into. And we want the Scout Fridge on the left. And then just put everything over. I'm going to separate the meds for now. Actually, we're going to keep the meds on the SV. Because that's where we may need them. So just going F4 again, I just, yeah, that's good. So what else? I'm not going to make any other changes to the base for now. That's going to bother me, so I'm going to change that so that they all look the same. We could put a bunch more growing plots in. But we would have to make another 7 growing plots. And for that, we would have to make another 7. We just go into this food processor here. We'd have to make another 7 nutrient solutions. Now, we can't do it at the moment because we don't have any stone dust. So we would have to transfer some stone dust from... Let me see. Oh, we haven't moved everything over yet. And if we were weight managing, which we are not, this is where it would get really... we would have to start using wireless and all sorts. But it's just much easier to do this. Just pick it all up, move it over manually. Okay, so let's just put everything into here. So these are all kind of things that get used whenever we're building stuff. Or things that are liable to get used. Now what I'm going to do is put a bunch of stuff here, which I'm ultimately going to deconstruct. Because we're going to have no use for that. Turrets we might actually use if we're on a planet and we build a base where we need more turrets. And I might be using those concrete blocks as well. So as far as naming the cargo boxes, they have to be grouped to do that. So let me see. Did I make any cargo boxes? I don't think I did. Did I? No, I want to make some cargo boxes. I'm going to make 4. So I want some additional storage. So that'll do. Because to name new blocks, actually, I'm going to take this one off as well. So I want to put a cargo box there eventually, just for seeds for the garden. Now, to name the cargo blocks, I'll just wait till at least one is made. Yeah, we got 3 made already. I'm going to use this for this spot here. Boxes as well. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of boxes here. We've got another one coming, so let's use that. Now, the trouble with these boxes here is they're not grouped. So if we look at it, for example, and we just go P, we don't have any option to rename. It just sends us into the general dashboard of the base. Whereas if we look at this box here and we go P, and you go into devices. Yeah, I wasn't in devices here, but if you go into P and into devices here, you don't get the option to rename it. But these, because they are grouped, you do. So you go into this one. We're in devices. I can change the name from cargo box 1 to deconstruct, for example. Let's get the caps right there. So now if we go to P and we look into the main dashboard and we go to the cargo boxes here, we can see that one's labeled, it came pre-labeled constructor, and that's the one that the constructor uses. And here's the one we just renamed to deconstruct. But we can't rename, these are all the things we just added. We can't rename these cargo boxes until we put them in a group. So we're going to add to group, and we're going to pick cargo boxes. Right there. Okay, so that one just got added to the cargo box group. And then we can go to add to last group, so same with that one. I'll also create a solar group and put all that off camera into that solar group. So add to last group and add to last group. So all the boxes are now in groups, and we can now look at them. So I want to use this one for trading or tradable items. So if we can now go P in devices, we get the option to rename it. And I can call it trade. So this one I want to call weapons and ammo. So I hit the wrong key there, P. Okay, so that's how we name all of the boxes. This one's going to be kind of miscellaneous. Okay, so that way, if we just go to the general dashboard of the Blue Moon base, then we go into cargo boxes, we can see what's where. So if we wanted to access the weapons ammo, for example, then we know where to go. Okay, so we've got everything in our fridge. So I'm not going to do the rest of the base modifications. I will do off camera. Now, if we move stuff over from there to here, it's going to increase our weight over the CPU limit. So just looking at P right now. So we're 10,000 under the limit. Because one thing that I want to do eventually is move those constructors over and place them on the base here. I'll do that off camera, but we're going to have to upgrade the CPU to do that, which I think we can do. We're going to have to do this eventually anyway, so we may as well just do it now. But we have to unlock it. So let's go F3. So we're in under the base tab, go CPU extender. Because this is going to, it's that one, yep. We go back to P. This is going to increase our weight limit to, I think it's 200,000. And eventually we're going to want to be adding all sorts of things. We're going to want an advanced constructor. This is a large constructor. We're going to want an advanced one because there are some things that you can't make, that you need an advanced constructor to make that you can't make in the large one. Things like fusion cells once we get up there. So we definitely want one of those, for example. We're also going to want a deconstructor. We're going to want a furnace and all sorts of things. We're going to have to increase our generator capacity. Yeah, we definitely need a CPU upgrade. And a CPU 2 will be enough to put in everything that we want to. All right, so that's it. We are ready to start the Clear Skies Talon quest, which we're going to do. Now, one thing that we're going to need for that is 2 stakes, for reasons we will see in the next episode. And I'm going to call the episode here, and just looking at P, see how our energy is going, statistics. So we got up to 2.1 kpu. Now, what have we got? 6 hours before sunset. So we're cranking out 2.1 kpu. That looks like it's steady, so that's likely the maximum. Typical usage when we're not doing anything is going to be 0.2 kpu. Now we're using the food processor at the moment, which is why it's kicked up to 0.7, but battery's up to 5%. So I think the battery should be fine. So what we'll do is I'm going to add some fuel anyway, just in case the batteries can't handle it. I think 90% sure the batteries alone will be able to handle our power requirements. But I'll add some fuel anyway, just in case it can't. All right, I'm going to call the episode here. And next episode, we're going to start on the Talon's Clear Skies quest. So what that does, it takes us to all of the key POIs. Starting with, I think there's one down here. Starting with the old Comaray. And then moving on from there, ending up at the abandoned base, which is quite that's quite a handful of a base to take on, especially with the gear we've got, because we do have the assault rifle right now, but we've only got light armor, so we are mobile at least, because that helps jumping around, dodging what you've got. But there's a lot of spray and pray in that place, and that's why if we just go to tab here, we've got so many bullets, because we'll be using a lot of these. Yeah, it's quite the quite an interesting POI when we get there, but we'll get there eventually. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next one, where we will start the Talon Clear Skies quest. Bye.